As it is the appointed time for the regular DeKalb County Commissioners meeting of March 2nd, 2026 at 8:30 a.m. Commissioner Dooley will be joining us by Zoom. He is not feeling well today. Therefore, all votes will have to be by roll call. First meeting is first business item is BCA Management, Regional Sewer District. Yeah, that'd be fine if you want to. Morning. Is that, there you go, thank you.
Anna Bergzazi, BCS Management. So it's been 4 weeks since I came and spoke with you all about the regional sewer district idea for the county. I don't have any additional information. I did send some additional information via email. I know you guys had some questions about the rights of other utilities to serve in your county. I sent some information that I got, excuse me, on that. Didn't receive any feedback, so I'm hoping it was clear enough or helpful in that. Mm-hmm. So if you guys have any more questions, I'm happy to answer them. We were talking about getting started with just defining the service areas and starting the public hearings and starting the petition process and moving forward with just getting a plan in place. But we can't do that until you guys obviously are ready and on board with that.
Okay. Gentlemen, do you have any other questions or?
I've got a comment, and I'm not sure about what the code says about the amount. It's $160,000, and I really think we should put that out for bid. I know it's services rendered, but that's quite a bit of service. I think I should actually go out to bid, have some other companies present before we act on this. I'm not ready to act on it today for that reason.
One option that you have in the bidding process is, yeah, I think you can let it out to bid, or you can also do, and Chris, maybe you can add this in. What did we do? It was a request for proposal. A request for proposal so that you kind of qualify the first group and then look at their proposals or something. Isn't that kind of what we did? Yeah. Request for qualifications. I mean, that's a process you could go through as well.
Mm-hmm.
Commissioner Dooley, any comment?
Does this meet the threshold, Andrew, for it to have to go out to bid at 150?
I don't think so, because it's for services rendered, which is what Bill was talking about. I think that it doesn't have to go out for that, is my understanding. Because it's not for a product or for a building or for a vehicle, it's for services. And
but
those
could it end up in product? And the end, and of course that'd have to be bid, I understand that, but you know, it's...
You mean like a building or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's entirely up to you three as commissioners what you want to do. Yeah, yes, I mean, so you can do either way, whichever you choose, and so.
That's my proposal, that we table it and get bids.
Is that a motion?
That is a motion.
Is there a second? Is there a second? Hearing no second, motion fails due to no second. Is there a motion to accept the proposal as presented?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second? Is there a second? I will second that motion. Is there any other discussion or questions? Is there anyone from the audience that has a question or comment? Please come to the microphone and give your name and address, please.
Okay, wait a minute. I need your name and address first.
Auburn, 46706. Thank you. And Commissioner Hartman and I talked on the phone some, and he had suggested that I come to the meeting today. And I had watched the commissioners' meeting when this proposal was made, and I had some concerns, and I sent you, all three commissioners, an email saying, I felt that we were kind of being scared a little bit that the neighboring counties could come in and take over our county's development. And then one of the county commissioners brought up the zoning board, that we'd still have control of the zoning board and that kind of stuff. And so I had expressed that in an email to the three of you and felt that a company was trying to kind of scare us to take action, as opposed to maybe being completely open and saying, hey, you'll still have control. It's just that it will be through zoning instead of septic or wastewater. Bill asked me to go off if I do some research. And so it's a very complicated subject, lots of tentacles, no doubt about it. Definitely need experts to do it. But as I went through stuff, it became apparent that there's lots of opinions out there on consulting companies, developers, surveyors, equipment manufacturers. They all have their own opinion on what you need to do for a wastewater district. But they all of them that I talked to seem to agree that the first step, and I know the commissioners have done this in the past, I don't know that it was you guys, but they've talked to some of the wastewater districts in the area, like Leo, Huntertown, some of those that have their own treatment plants, and just really got a feel for how things went, who they used, how that relationship was formed, and all that kind of thing. And pretty much everybody across the board suggested that that is a great first step to take, is to talk to other wastewater districts, figure out what happened to them, what was bad, what was good, all that kind of stuff. I also talked to developers, land surveyors, also to equipment manufacturers who, would do local, small local treatments versus centralized large system. Lots of different things going on, but it seemed like the one common thread is everybody recommended you talk to other wastewater districts and find out what they went through before starting down the path. And they all agreed that you should have a wastewater district. Just how to get there, there was lots of different opinions. And that's what I have for you.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Is there anyone else in the public?
Dave Holt, 1297 County Road 19, Water. Not sure of the full scope of work of this proposal, but I assume it's more of a feasibility study at this time.
No, it's forming a district and a website, public relations, seeking feedback from the public, seeking feedback from the other utility providers in the county, defining a plan.
Have we done a feasibility study to find out this way we want to go? You got to identify trunk lines, you got to identify roads, that plan first before you continue to the next step. You can't just form a sewer district for no reason. You have to have intent.
There is an intent. And we're not talking about infrastructure. We're not talking about building any lines. We're not talking about building any plants. We're not talking about any of that.
Well, then that's a feasibility study. If we're not talking about what we're going to do, what's the next step?
Part of it.
You're going to identify areas, correct?
That's right.
What if, after you identify them, it's not a feasible project? Why do we have
Well, we don't believe that that's going to happen, but it could be terminated. We could say, this just doesn't look like it's going to work. It doesn't look like it makes sense. We've discovered that there's a better way, a different path. That could happen. They're not on the hook for the whole thing right out of the gate. It's a milestone of project.
This will get us a sewer district?
Yes.
I don't see why we need a sewer district before we identify the needs. We shouldn't expand our government on a wish list if we think this might work. And you're expanding government if you put a sewer district. I would like to see what the sewer district has and let the general public have input in that prior to making the sewer district.
That is part of the process, public hearing.
Public hearing is part of the process before it's ever finalized.
Okay. So there will be a vote. This vote doesn't establish the sewer district.
No, this vote establishes the process of moving forward towards establishing a sewer district, but there's public meetings, there's a public hearing, and then there's evidence presented to IDEM before, and IDEM decides if the sewer district is actually formed.
This is the
I just don't want to
agreement
get part before the horse.
for her to be the consultant.
So that, yeah, well, I'm fine with that piece because we have to have a consultant. There's no way around that.
I just wanted you to know that was
Yeah,
the actual
yeah, that's
vote part,
good, but,
yeah.
I don't want the whole county going in as predetermined that we're going to have a sewer district, but you answered my question with general public. That was my, because we have to decide if there's going to be a sewer district based upon the need and whatever you lay out. And the general public should be involved in that. You said that's going to happen. So that's my concern. Make sure that we don't get too far in front of ourselves. Because there's a lot of moving parts of this, especially with interlocal agreement. I mean, Auburn's got to do their own. I don't know if you're part of the Auburn side of that, but they got to decide, can they maintain the sewer treatment plant for us after we identify the needs? So just be careful. Because people now, for the next 3-4 years, 20 years when it goes south, we're not going to be here. And everybody else is going to get pulled back. Especially with capacity on sewer treatment, we don't own our own. We own the trunk and the lift station. And determining capacities. And Auburn would take care of that 10 years now. Auburn keeps growing themselves. And then I worry about if we put the sewer line in Auburn's sewer treatment plant, you got annexation problems, potentially. It's happened in other areas of the country where the city owns a treatment plant and they expand to annexation because the rates get so high and you got ratcheting rates. So just be careful of all of that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else?
Mind if I follow up?
Sure.
5934 County Road 35, Auburn. And his opinion was kind of shaped by other people that I talked to, especially David Brown of Brown and Sons. He kind of was of the opinion of, hey, you really need to figure out what you want to do in your county before you spend the money to hire someone. And he went through, I mean, I talked to him for probably 45 minutes to an hour, and that guy is sharp, and he had, not saying that no one else is, but he understands this, having done several developments, and he understands working with county versus wastewater districts versus everything else, and he had really good insight and suggested that, unless you guys already have, and I don't mean to suggest you haven't, but he thinks someone like himself should be talking to you guys before you go down this path. Someone who's been through it and wants to see the county grow, and he has opinions on how to get to the end goal that we want to get to.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
In addition to that, I'd like to kind of reiterate, and at the risk of repeating myself, this is $160,000, and when we sign this, it's gone. We're not sure we even will follow through with this. So why are we not getting second opinions, additional bids, or at least quotes on this project? And you're just going to throw $160,000 at this and see if it works? Is that what we're going to do? Is that how we spend the public's money? I'm asking the two commissioners, please explain that to me, why we do this and not have some more input.
There are phases to it, Bill. There are phases to it. So it could be terminated and you're not out all the money. It also includes some elements, like a website and some PR that would probably require that you get quotes from multiple firms. And we could break it up into multiple projects that are smaller, that are the public relations side, the scoping and feasibility and petition side, and then the electronic media side. But in the end, it's just my firm is capable of doing all of those things, so we wrapped it into one proposal.
Are you the only firm capable of doing this?
No. An engineering firm could get you through the process of forming a sewer district.
Mr. Dooley? No. My only comment is that I did look at other firms when I was at the Indiana County Commissioners Conference in Indianapolis. I talked to several different companies. This company here seemed to have some very good, what's the word I want? They were highly recommended, highly recommended. I talked to other county commissioners when I was at the conference as well, and I felt like when they came that they've been in business for quite some time and know what they're doing. As far as wasting money, I don't believe this is wasting money. And I would ask Mr. Cruz if he could address the problem that Allen County could come into DeKalb County. That is entirely possible from what I understand. Is that correct?
That's my understanding. I had heard, though I haven't researched this out, that the county still has to maybe give approval for them doing that, but they are right up to the southern DeKalb County line in at least one spot, which means that if a development goes in just north of the county line, I think it's there 427, Allen County could request DeKalb County to allow them to shoot their sewer up.
Even if the commissioners would vote no, there's still a remedy for that housing development to go to the court system and have a judge overrule us. Is that correct?
I do not know that for sure. Many times there are remedies, but on certain county commissioner decisions, there isn't a judicial remedy like speed limits on the road and so forth. I'm not, without doing further research, I'm not sure if that decision is appealable or not to the court.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone else in the public wishes to speak?
I have a question for Andrew real quick.
Yes.
Sit back down, Andrew.
Yep.
When they have to get permission to come up, it's into our right of way.
It's in through our right of way, yes. I would think so, yes.
They can go through private land, do they do that without our permission?
I'm not aware of any law that would prohibit that, but that would take a little bit deeper research on that issue as to whether or not, for example, if they, whether or not they could, through some agreement, go through a field or something and then in through another field to the back of the housing development into DeKalb County, that potential. They wouldn't need public approval for, the right-of-way if they're not going in right-of-way, but I think they'd still need approval of, and I'm not sure if like through our planning department, if there would be any approval process through either drainage. Maybe Chris could come up and talk about what approval may be required if someone tried to do that. Let's say backdoor it through a farmer's field.
The Plan Commission would approve a platting process for new subdivisions, and then that
Which includes
easement
the
would be,
sewer or
it'd be
not?
an easement through other people's property that the county would not have control over. If the sewer would want to go in the county's right of way, then
The
obviously
county would have control over
the
that.
county highway would have control of that.
Okay.
Not
necessarily.
There's not necessarily approval from the county commissioners needed in that scenario either. It's approval through the county highway department. And then same with the easement. If an easement is used on private property, on private ownership, then the easement would be with that those property owners, not the county.
I think, I think there would be problems in trying to stop it. There could be potential litigation. Not aware of any other counties in Indiana suing each other over that, but I don't know that there's any kind of artificial line at the county line that says Leo's sewer district can't come up into DeKalb County.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I'd like to address the question that Kellen presented as far as going across private property. We're not talking one or two properties here. We're talking several, maybe 20 or 30 landowners. Between County Road 60 and the county line where this proposed housing development might go in. So we're talking several properties. And they're not just going to willy-nilly let somebody cross their property with a sewer line without compensation. So whether they want to, they're getting just a complication and expense it.
And they don't have eminent domain to force it either.
Right. So they'd have to pony up the money to cross these properties, and it might be 20, 30, 40, I don't know.
Andrew?
Yeah.
No.
The other Andrew.
The other
Right.
Andrew.
I forgot the other Andrew was here.
Andrew Provines, 3920 County Road 75, Butler, Indiana. It sounds to me, just based on what you presented, there are separate stages of the project. So I would say milestones, we stop here, we pause, is this advantageous? But I think just saying we're not going to do this or waiting too long, from what you guys have said, Fort Wayne could come down. So there will be an issue. They're not going to stop development there. So to be reactive 6 months from now, to be reactive a year from now, seems silly to not start something, figure it out. And if you cancel the project partway through, you've spent a little bit of money and you found out exactly what you need to find out. I just worry that, once again, we're getting into a scenario of being reactive. This seems to happen a lot. If we're proactive, we can figure out exactly what we want to do, exactly when we need to do it, and move on from there. We'll get the answers we need. I just don't want you to be in a situation where 6 months from now, you're like, crap, it's happening. Because I don't think if someone wants to put a nice big development there within DeKalb County, you guys are going to say, we're not going to allow Fort Wayne to do this, because everyone's going to be here. We want our houses, we want our development, we want to move here. We want people to move here. We want to grow, but at the same time, we need to control it to an extent where we're using our utility. So just some thoughts. Be proactive, not reactive.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public? Last call.
I have another comment, and I'm not, it seems like this is morphed into do we or don't we? And that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that we don't. I'm saying the process should be more restrictive and more, let's have some debate instead of just going with one company and saying that's it. On the other side of this, if we do go with this company, that we break this down and pay it by segments, not all up front. We pay it as is listed, $50,000, and then go down the line with these payments, not everything up front. Once we get into this, it's going to be hard to back out.
You want to
It's
address?
not all up at once. It's milestone based,
Okay.
based on completion of certain phases of the project.
So what would be the cost of the first phase?
I haven't looked at the cost table for a while, but there is a down payment at contract signing for the first half of the IDEM petition and scoping phase. I think last time I looked is $25,000. Then there's a monthly reporting. And then we don't charge for the other part of that petition filing until we file the petition. So there's a lot of work that goes into determining what's going to be in the petition. So that's why we asked for that first, and then we just get to work on that. But we could find out halfway through. I really don't believe that's going to happen, but it is possible that we find that, there's another way to solve all the problems. We're not just talking about the South County line. We're not just talking about the fear of Fort Wayne coming north. We're also talking about the environmental issues all over the county that were the whole reason we started this discussion years ago, failing septics throughout the county, which were at the time, the primary driver of the whole discussion. But now there's multiple facets to it. But Yes, it's milestone. It's not all at once.
I do want to add one, and maybe you can talk to this, but what I saw when I reviewed it, there was a 10% buyout fee if we terminate early, with 30 days notice to terminate or something. Because you can terminate the contract for convenience, which is good, but I saw in paragraph 1.4.3 a 10% buyout fee, or it's something about if more than 1 year, there might be like 20 or 40% buyout. Do you know about the buyout fee?
Yeah, so Andrew, and I apologize, my attorney has updated my master services agreement 3 times in 2026.
Yes.
And specifically around termination and buyouts.
Yes.
And that's because some of our projects are 2-3 year or ongoing, and so there's a buyout for, if it's just for convenience. Now, if we do something wrong, which we never have, we could, I don't know, we could mess up, then there's no buyout. But if you just decide we don't want to do this anymore, or we want to, you know.
Right, but I thought for the discussion, we're talking about segments, and they want to
Yes.
say no more segments. It may be okay with them that there's a 10%.
The attorneys would have to
penalty fee,
discuss what
but-
convenience means if the actual project was the reason. We just say we don't want to pursue a.
They don't want to
sewer
pursue further after hearing public comment. They could stop
Right.
it, but there's a 10% fee. I just want
Right.
them to know that.
district. Yep.
Okay. They can still say yes to the agreement, but just aware there's a fee to get out. It's either 10% or, 20% or 40%. Not sure. I'm assuming I was looking at the updated master services agreement. but-
Yeah.
Okay.
If you want any of
Maybe
those
this one.
changed, Andrew, that's up to you if you have suggestions.
Yeah, I mean, I think that if they want to see this in, in portions, before they decide that they want to do it in portions, they, maybe they could negotiate for having that particular early cutoff fee removed. I don't know what you gentlemen think, but that'd be my thought. Have the early termination fee removed if you want to do it that way.
Yeah, that's part of the negotiation. So we have a statement of work, which is what we've been talking about, which is what we're going to do and how much it's going to cost. We have a master services agreement, which is all the legalese that is, Andrew should offer some feedback on that, but the key pieces of that are termination. And we've only had an issue with that once because a municipality hired my employee on a multi-year contract, which is a compliment to us, but not good for business. So we can make it work.
Yeah.
Each deal is a little different. This one is longer term, but it's milestone based. It's not a retainer type thing, so we can make it work for you, Andrew.
Well, and this is a little bit different as they're talking this morning, talking about milestone. They might cut it off potentially or wanted that option, so.
Our charges are milestone based.
Yeah.
So when we complete certain things and start certain things, we charge for that service.
Sure.
If this moves ahead and say we decide we need to run a sewer down to county line, who pays for that sewer?
That'll be part of how we structure the sewer district, but it would have to be bonded by the sewer district, or it could be some sort of interlocal agreement with Auburn, whatever we determine on a project-by-project basis.
Shouldn't that be determined beforehand?
No.
Why not?
Because
We're going to go into something here not knowing what's going to cost or who's going to pay the bill.
Well, we'll know who will pay the bill. It'll be the sewer district. They'll bond for it if the project is feasible. So part of the petition process is not only defining service areas, but defining from a high level how those areas will be serviced and about how much they will cost. IDEM will be looking at, do you have projects that are feasible? Do you have managerial understanding of how to operate a sewer district? And do you understand how you're going to financially keep this thing viable after it's off the ground? That's all part of the whole process of scoping the petition.
Would the sewer district have all control over over the sewer project?
They would after it's established and a board is appointed. Yes.
So the commissioners would have no control?
Well, no, if you're starting the sewer district, you're going to have say in how the board is structured. And you could say it's 3 commissioner appointments. Depending on how the service areas lay out, you could say it's a 5-member board with 3 commissioner appointments and just for example, an Auburn appointment and a Butler appointment, or maybe a township appointment down in the south part of the county, whatever makes sense. But if you maintain those appointments, you can even appoint yourselves if you want to. Commissioners are on sewer boards all the time. or appoint someone who you feel will represent your interests. They'll be on that board.
And Lana, also there's grant money out there, there's a lot of grant money that will come to run some of these projects, correct?
There is, yes. Each project would be on a case-by-case basis. How much does it cost? How many users can it service? And can we get grant money? And will the debt service and the operational dollars support moving forward with the project or not? And those numbers for the cost of the project are going to be the same. It's just materials and engineering costs what they cost. So we just need to determine where the needs are and where the growth opportunities or goals are.
If this does not self-pay, would the sewer district have the authority to levy tax?
No, a sewer district is sustained by rates only. A tax-supported district is a conservancy district. And those are developed through a similar process, but it's much more complicated and usually much more adversarial because people who are not even receiving the service, if they're in the service area, have to pay, versus a sewer district, only people who are connecting to the service and using that service pay into it.
Commissioner Dooley?
No
So,
more comment.
okay. One thing that I believe the public needs to understand is that, and this is for me speaking only, that I would be not in favor in any way, shape, or form of an existing sewer system that is working to not have to legally hook up to a sewer district. If it's working, then I would not be in favor of them having to, by law, by the commissioners making that decision that they have to hook up, or the sewer district. I would be absolutely opposed to that. If my sewer system is working, I don't want to have to be forced into hooking up to a sewer system. At some point, the sewer system would probably fail and would then have to hook up, but not until that time. This would be, in my mind, for new development only.
And I agree with you on that, Jim, and that's why I would really push to have the three commissioners. That way we can.
If we are going to form a sewer district, I would strongly suggest that all three commissioners be on that district, part of that district. In addition to other representatives, of course, other towns or even the county. But I would suggest all three commissioners be on the district.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but that doesn't happen till probably a year or two down the road.
Probably depending on how the process goes, but probably a year or so. Part of our scope is to help you form the board and then train the board, and meaning just on the specifics of regional sewer districts and how they operate. We've done this several times for regional sewer districts. But yes, you determine, if you're owning this contract that says we want to start a regional sewer district, you determine how that board is structured and who gets the appointments.
Okay, thank you. And one other final comment from myself is I don't want to be reactive. I would rather be proactive and start the process and see where it goes. And we have to start somewhere. I don't want to have to be reactive in any way, shape, or form. That's not good government. It's not good policy. Any other comments?
I don't think that was a suggestion that be reactive.
We have a motion and a second on the floor to accept the BCS contract as presented. Any other discussion?
I will have to do a roll call.
That's right.
Are we able to amend it?
That's up to whether they will accept that sort of an amendment here today and before we'd sign it.
We'll accept an amendment. If you would like to accept the statement of work subject to finalizing the master services agreement terms. We could do that.
I'm fine with that, subject to,
Do we have something to sign?
Yeah, there's a statement of work and a master services agreement. You could sign the statement of work, which is the what and the how much, and then the master services agreement, we could go back and forth until you guys are happy with the termination clauses. It wouldn't change what is contained in the statement of work or the fees. It would just change termination clauses
right.
and reasons
Why
for
don't
them.
you email me whatever the current version is to make sure I'm looking over the right version?
Yep.
She had one that was like 6 pages. The one I reviewed, I think, was 9 pages I had in my notes.
Yes,
So I just want to make sure I was looking at the right one and we're all on the same page.
it's a great time to do it, sir, because 2026 was, let's update our master services agreement. And
Sounds good. So if you
So-
could just shoot me the
Yep.
current one, then I'll make sure that I'm reviewing the right one, and we'll go from there.
Do you want to amend the motion?
Yeah, I'll amend that motion.
I will second that motion. One last call.
So you're amending it to what?
Probably a motion. Well, perhaps allowing Jim Miller as president of the commissioners to sign the agreement when the termination clause is renegotiated. Something like that. And that's your second as well?
Yes.
Okay.
We have to do a roll call vote. Commissioner Dooley?
Yes.
Commissioner Hartman?
No.
Commissioner Miller? Yes. Motion passes 2-1. Thank you, everyone, for your comments. I greatly appreciate it.
thank you.
And I'll review that when you get it to me. Thank you.
We have the 2026-0-1 DCC 15-3-3 Animal Ordinance for second and third reading. I would entertain a motion to accept the second and third reading as presented.
I'll make that motion.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to accept the animal ordinance for the second and third reading as presented. Any other discussion? Anyone from the public? Hearing none. Commissioner Dooley? No, we're
Roll
voting.
call.
We're roll call.
Oh, sorry.
Commissioner Hartman?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller? Yes. Passes 3-0.
I will email Erica, Officer Edge, about that right now.
Cool. Thank you, sir. Since it's past 9 o'clock, HWC, DeKalb 2040 Comprehensive Plan Presentation and Adoption.
Hi there, I'm not HWC, obviously. We're here today, the Plan Commission gave a unanimous recommendation for approval of the comprehensive plan rewrite on February 18th. So this is the adoption hearing for that, or meeting for that. HWC, as you all know, was hired by the Plan Commission and County Commissioners, over a year ago now, to rewrite the comprehensive plan. Has been through quite a bit of public input meetings and things. They're here today to do a brief presentation for you, answer any overall questions that you may have. But the comp plan was sent to you. It's 150-some pages, so I didn't print that out for you. Did print out copies of what they're kind of going to go through, so you can have that. Kellen, I believe Susan emailed everything out, so they should have everything anyway, so you can follow along while they give their presentation. But I believe Allie is coming up first to discuss, and I'll be around to drop stuff off.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having us here today. So a bit about HWC. We're a multidisciplinary engineering firm. Our planning department experts are here today. I'm part of HWC's business development team for the northeast part of the state. I reside up here in northeast Indiana. And I have with me my colleagues, Rachel, And is Jennifer coming up? Jennifer waves. And they will be providing the presentation for you today.
Good morning. Thanks for having us. We have really enjoyed working with your planning commission and Chris on this comprehensive plan. Everyone should have a handout, and if you just want to follow along, as I'm sure you guys are well aware that a comprehensive plan guides long-term community development and investment. This is used by elected leaders, staff, community organizations, and property owners when making decisions. So your plan commission uses this as a tool, likely at every single plan commission meeting. Your BZA uses it, Chris uses it in his office, and then you guys do kind of reference this in your decision making as well. This helps guide zoning in the county. There is something called a future land use map that's part of this, and this helps kind of show what your vision is for the future of DeKalb County. If you look at the next piece of this, the planning process and timeline, like Chris said, we've been working on this for over a year. There's been about 4 phases that we've worked through, and of course, we're at the 4th and final phase where we're just looking for an approval from your end. But there was a steering committee that guided this process. If you look at the public engagement slide, you can see that the steering committee was made up of 22 members of the DeKalb County community. We had several engagement opportunities. One of them, we had a project website that was heavily used. We had 2,100 unique visits to that website, so people were able to hop on and see what was going on with the process. You know, if they had questions, there were answers there. It gave information on when public engagement opportunities were happening, and you can see we had 62 participants in the focus group meetings, which those were special meetings that had your local experts from DeKalb County come in and tell us about a variety of topics. We had an online public survey with almost 600 responses on it, 2 public workshops, an online public workshop, some do-it-yourself workshops, a big ideas open house, and a public presentation. And you can see all of the numbers of the people of your community that were involved and had voices in shaping this process. There were several priorities that were identified as part of the planning process. You can see some of the key themes included. You know, there's a strong sense of community here, neighborly values, local pride, and shared traditions. There was a preservation of heritage culture, looking at your ag roots, your car culture, historic places, and local events. There was a call for protection of natural assets, you know, such as your farmland, waterways, and open spaces. The public was really interested in support for thoughtful growth that helps balance your tradition and with innovation and opportunity. So, you know, what does the future look like here? There was a strong desire for collaboration among local governments, nonprofits, and community partners. And finally, there was a focus on quality of life, economic resilience, and long-term prosperity. If you look, there was a vision statement that was developed by the steering committee. DeKalb County is intentionally shaping a future where strategic growth strengthens the local community to create lasting opportunity. While celebrating DeKalb County's heritage of farming, classic car culture, and the people that make DeKalb County unique, the county is striving to be a place of opportunity, a steward of land and water, and home where families and employers can flourish. So that really helped guide, that statement there really helped guide all of the goals, objectives, and the action items that came out of this plan. And with that, I'm going to let Jen Barclay come up here. She really led a lot of the efforts, the meetings and things that were part of this, and she'll tell you a little bit more about the actual planning document itself and how it's structured and what some of those specific goals were for the topic chapters.
Morning. Thanks for having us today. And I'm Jennifer Barclay. I was the project manager for the DeKalb 2040 plan. So overall, the document, as Chris was saying, is about 150 pages, but it is structured with an executive summary. That's a quick overview, some highlights for the plan. So as you're in the community talking about it, I think it's important to say that you can read that executive summary and get a pretty good idea what's in the whole document. Of course, we go into an introduction, which is a lot of existing conditions for the community. We talk about the public participation that Rachel overviewed more in depth, and then we really get into the subject matter. of land use, transportation, housing, community facilities and infrastructure, trails, open spaces, and natural areas, economic development, and then finally arts, culture, and placemaking. Since the Plan Commission does govern planning and zoning for the town of Corona, they have a dedicated chapter as well. And then we have an implementation chapter. This really starts to outline some first steps to initiating what the plan recommends to do. There's some short-term goals there that different community members and offices can start to work towards for implementing the plan. Again, in that subject matter chapters, we have goals, strategies, and objectives that are outlined there that really helps take the vision that Rachel read into implementation. And it's that framework or playbook to help you get there. As part of your slides that you have in front of you, you have your current future land use map there, and that is what is in place today. It's important to understand that future land use and zoning maps are two different things. So zoning is regulatory as far as what permitted use you might have, setbacks, lot coverage, those sorts of things. This is a future land use map. This is more policy as far as giving some guidance. If you have a petition that comes before the Plan Commission or finally the commissioners for rezoning, what have we heard from the community as far as where the community wants to grow? And that's how the future land use map guides that decision. So looking here,
I have a question about that.
yes.
So on this future land use map, it looks like it's just what it's already. You point out some areas where it shows he wants to come in.
Sure.
And looking specifically at SDI Road, that's all just on that corridor.
Yeah. So if we go to the proposed future land use, I think which what you're looking at there, that is mostly SDI. We heard from the Plan Commission, a lot of properties like up to Butler were getting rezoned into back to agriculture. So we went ahead and made that recommendation that some of those properties that had in the past been zoned industrial should maybe go back to agriculture. And then something that gets a little tricky for counties is most of your communities have extraterritorial jurisdictions. That's where it's the county that maintains the roads, but those communities have planning and zoning authority there. So you'll see that outlined in gray around the communities that have them. I think it's Ashley and Corona and Altona do not. A lot of the growth of what we heard from the community, they want to grow around the existing towns, grow where there's infrastructure. So your towns right now control a lot of what type of land use that would be. So within those gray areas, you see a lot of commercial, industrial, and residential in those areas. As far as updates to what the county does control, like I said, we made those changes around SDI. You have that residential along kind of the spine in your community where there already is some growth and infrastructure. Are there any more questions about the land use maps?
So, I understand land use map we have, companies come in around the cities. It doesn't seem like there's near, I mean, I'm also on the SDI road, also looked down by 6911A. Yes, the extrajudicial for Auburn, but if you look at the southwest area for that intersection, it'd probably be a good spot to put commercial, since the racetrack and all that's going to be developed in that area.
Mm-hmm.
When I look at the map, it just looks like it's just what we think.
Mm-hmm. That is based off of what we were hearing from the community of where they wanted to grow. So when we put out for public comments, people were generally in agreement with that, along with the Plan Commission, to keep the growth within the town's ETJs and where infrastructure exist. Not to say that you can't grow outside of that. Again, this is just recommendations of where we are today. All right. So then after the subject matter chapters, I mentioned the town of Corona. We have existing conditions for them. We had a public workshop just for the town as well, and we gave them some specific recommendations. And then we wrap up with the implementation. Those strategies to take a first look at into implementing this plan is modernizing your Unified Development Ordinance, which is the zoning regulations. Update your transportation plan. Assess the merits of implementing a TIF district and support key growth areas. And connect DeKalb County that's centered around trail development. And then develop a made in DeKalb. The full comprehensive plan is available on the project website, DeKalb2040.com, and I'm sure Chris will be merging that over to the county's website as well. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Commissioners, comments, questions? Anyone? Oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I just was going to ask about the transportation plan. Does that involve county roads, or is that more the main arteries? What does that pertain to?
Yeah, so you currently have a transportation plan that is with the Highway Department. They work with your Metropolitan Planning Organization, and they adopted a lot of those same standards as well. It just hasn't been updated in some time. So it might be a good time to reassess, look over things, and come up with, if improvements need to be done, a plan to get those in place.
The thoroughfare plan that we have in the comprehensive plan as well is based off of the transportation plan through the Highway Department and NERC. So again, part of that right-of-way discussion that we're going to have, that we discussed last week, a lot of what the Highway Department uses is based off of, like Jen said, the Metropolitan Transportation Organization, which is NERC, to come up with classifications of roads, which ones may need updated, that sort of thing. And again, it just hasn't been updated in a while, so it's something that we thought could be useful, especially when the discussion of the wheel tax was going on, and that was kind of going on while we were doing the comprehensive plan, is that there wasn't a public knowledge and public awareness, thank you, that of a transportation plan, where it's located, the accessibility of it, meaning put it on the county website, have it be available to the public to review as well. And that's just something that we thought needed to get incorporated in the comprehensive plan as well.
That's the reason I asked the question, so the public could hear the answer.
Yeah.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Any other questions or comments, commissioners? Anyone from the public? Hearing no one, would entertain a motion to accept the DeKalb County HWC 2024 Comprehensive Plan presentation as presented.
Well, we're gonna actually approve Resolution 2026-R-1 that approves the comprehensive plan.
It's for not just acceptance of it, but it's whether or not you approve it to make it part of the act, to make it, this is like the final vote to make it the final comprehensive plan.
Okay, my misunderstanding.
No, that's all right.
Can I make a suggestion that we table this, and for a couple of weeks, I'd like to have a little more time to go through it and study it, look at it.
Don't have a problem. You okay, Commissioner Dooley?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what Bill had to say.
They were to table it for 2 weeks. I can have I want more time to really go through this thing and study it.
That's fine. That's what you guys want. I'm okay with it.
That a motion?
That's a motion.
Is that a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to table the comprehensive plan and ordinance as presented. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Oops, I'm sorry.
Roll call.
Roll call. Commissioner Dewey,
Yes.
Commissioner Hartman,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller, yes. Passes 3-0.
So,
I'd like to make a comment. They've done a good job. I appreciate all the hard work.
so in 2 weeks, are you wanting them all to come back?
No,
No? I can just
not
bring,
necessarily, no.
I can just bring the resolution? Okay.
I also won't be here in 2 weeks, so if you have any questions, try to get with me in the next, what is that, 2 weeks? Yeah, because I just won't be here that week.
Where are you going?
Don't worry about it. I can join from a beach chair. Got spring break with my kids.
Right.
We're good to go there then? Okay. It's almost 9:30. Mr. Lanning, you're ready? Thank you, HWC, for a very good job. Very good. Thank you.
Morning.
Morning.
I'm just going to bring a Cornerstone update from our Cornerstone perpetuation project. I know the commissioners gave us some money to get that program up and running, so wanted to keep you up to date on what's going on. So total in our county, we have between 1,700 to 1,800 corners, depending on how you count some of the double corners along the border of our county. So we've been going on this program for about 9 months. Since we got all three firms together and kind of got it up and rolling. And so far to this date, we've recovered 443 corners. So we're just above 25% of the total corners perpetuated so far. We've started in a handful of different townships, mostly to the southwest, anticipating any developments coming from Allen County, trying to get those taken care of. Most of those 443 corners are in the road. We do have some corners that are located off the road, so we have to get back there and get those done. This is the prime time right now to be getting those perpetuated because the vegetation's down and gone and it's not freezing cold. So anticipate a lot of those corners being perpetuated in the coming month or two. We, as part of those funds that we received, we ordered a new supply for Harrison monuments. So we ordered around 200 new monuments to replace any damaged or lost monuments that are perpetuated. We also ordered some brass concrete markers. Those will go on concrete bridges, a special bit that goes with them. So that way if a corner is located on a bridge, we have a way to monument that and mark that for surveyors' utilization. As well as off-road signs and U-posts. Those will be installed by all corners that are off the road. So those should all have proper signage at the end of this program and allow everybody to know that they're there, so no farmers are accidentally destroying them if they're removing like a fence line, or if a development comes in, they're not unintentionally destroying a Harrison marker. So those will be marked appropriately. All of our corners that we have perpetuated thus far are put on a database for the state plane coordinates. So all private surveyors have access to that information. So they can utilize their GPS device, go to that spot and find that monument. It's within a couple inches. So it helps that they can all utilize that. The intentions for this program that I discussed back when we got approved is to help make private land surveys more affordable for the citizens of DeKalb County. So having these corners all properly perpetuated will help save some of our taxpayers some funds. As I said, they're going to be getting those monuments off the road completed here soon. So if you see some private land surveyors out there in the middle of the fields or woods or swamps, that's probably what they're doing. We've worked with Allen County Foresight, who is one of our contractors for this program, is the head for Allen County's program, so it's nice that we have some overlap there. We're working in conjunction with Allen County to get the corners between the DeKalb and Allen County border all perpetuated, so Todd's looking into that. So it's nice that we could talk with Mike Frucci, the surveyor in Allen County, and get that cooperation running. All of our files are being transmitted from DA Brown, who's the head of our program, to our GIS department. So our GIS department receives those, and then they update our GIS mapping system and make the information available to all the private land surveyors. The GIS department also has a lot of good feedback with those firms that we're utilizing, and they've helped them solve some problems so far. So it's been nice to have some different offices all working in conjunction to get this rolling and taken care of. And I think that about sums up where we're at. We're hoping that we can close out some townships by the end of this year. Hopefully by summertime, we can close out some. We have some of them where all the roads are done. We just have to get the off-road corners perpetuated. So we'll return probably later this year to give another update on how the program's going, but we will have some better visualization. So we can have a map where we can start turning our townships green and seeing where we're getting all those lost corners rediscovered at and taken care of. So, any questions thus far for me?
Gentlemen?
I would say, I talked to, I think, DA Brown. Sure. And he gave me a mini course in surveying and the history of surveying in Indiana and these cornerstones. It was fascinating, and to me, it seems like it's a very good way to help have good land records in the county as well. When you say that, Tyler? Yep. I mean, just for everybody to know this is where our land is, and now it's going to be set, and it's just a big help for deeds and recording deeds and that sort of thing, and development.
Yep. Property line disputes.
Yeah.
With all the divisions of subdivisions and simple divisions and a lot.
It gets everything back to the same point.
I think, you know,
Yes,
it's.
yes. We ran into that some so far in the program of these subdivisions that were done previously weren't actually done in the right spot, so everything's a little bit shifted, and
But there's ways to
it
work
makes
that
things
out.
a little weird, yeah, so.
That can cause a lot of conflict among landowners also. I've seen in the past that we need to have those.
So this is going to hopefully clear all that stuff.
I hope so.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems important, very important to me to do that, so, yeah.
Very important.
Good work.
Thanks.
Excellent. Thank you, sir.
Yep, thank you.
Appreciate your time and the update.
Thanks for coming in, Tyler.
Mr. Parker's not here yet, so can we move down to accept the payroll?
Motion to approve payroll.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve payroll. Is there any discussion or questions? Hearing none. Commissioner Dooley?
Yes.
Commissioner Hartman?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller is yes. Payroll passes 3-0. We can do claims?
Got a question on claims.
Yes, sir.
Health Department, $8,000 to soil and water. Why, what is that for about?
I don't know exactly what it's for. It just is one of their Health First Indiana sub recipients. Like they gave to like St. Martin's, the Y. I don't know. It's in their list. I don't know what they do with them.
I couldn't figure out why the soil and water, but Just a curiosity as much
I
as
don't
anything.
know, we'd have to ask the health department.
Yeah, myself, before the meeting started, I had a question on soil and water on their, said operating 21,859. And can you explain that quickly, Susan? please?
That's, so the council pays, they have a budget, they pay for, the wages, and then they pay, a certain amount for operating expenses and some of their telephone. So that was their allocation for the 26.
Yep. Thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions or comments? Would entertain a motion to accept the claims. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to accept the claims as presented. Any other comments? Hearing none. Commissioner Dooley?
Yes.
Commissioner Hartman?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller? Yes. Claims passed 3-0. We have the minutes for approval. Would entertain a motion to accept the minutes.
Make that motion.
I'm sorry, is that,
I'll make that motion.
okay, thank you. Commissioner Dooley?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to accept the minutes as presented. Is there any other discussion or questions? Hearing none. Commissioner Dooley?
Yes.
Commissioner Hartman?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller? Yes. Passes 3-0. We have about 5 minutes yet. We better wait on,
Bad end.
was he there? Walked away, didn't he?
We could do the YMCA MOU, that one's pretty easy.
Okay.
That's just each year. We offer, we do payroll deduction for the YMCA, and every year we have to update their MOU in order for us to keep doing it.
It was in our packet.
Yep.
I would entertain a motion to accept the YMCA MOU as presented.
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to accept the YMCA MOU as presented. Any other discussion? Hearing none. Commissioner Dooley?
Yes.
Commissioner Hartman?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller? Yes. Passes 3-0. Can't see Ben.
You want me to just,
He's right there.
Yeah, he's right.
Good morning, Mr. Parker. Thank you for joining us.
We're a little early, but, yeah, well, we're just humping along here. Yeah, we thought you might need, maybe you need a little extra time. You know, we gotta have time to chew on you a little bit.
Okay. Anyway, good morning, guys.
Morning.
I'm glad to see the snow missed us, went south,
It did, didn't it?
which is always great. So first of all, I guess I can start out with the great all bid. Make sure I got all my papers around here. One. Okay, so great all bid. We had one bidder that bid 2 units. It was Southeastern Equipment. He bid a 2025 unit that is on hand, and then he bid a 2026 unit that would have to be ordered.
I wrote them, Bill specifically asked me for the dates. And I have them here. Thought I had them here. What did I do with them? There it is. So if we was to order a 2026 model, he says they're 3 to 5 months out for this, for ordering a model. That's as of now, last he knew, he said, until you specifically order one, then dates can change. There is no changes from the 25 model to the 26 model. Everything's identical. So with that, my recommendation would be to go with the 2025 model. It was cheaper, and plus we would get that unit now. In our bid specs, we bid to have included was a brush guard that goes around the cab that for some reason he did not include in that bid, but I did email him and ask for a quote to have that added. I feel that would be a good benefit. The Great All does go out on a lot of brush details. We have had accident in the past where one actually come through the cab and hit an employee. So I think it would be worth the investment. That additional cost is $6,556.23.
Say that again.
$6,556.23.
You called that a brush guard?
Yes, that's what they call it here.
Ben, for the commissioners and the public, this, as I understand it, the Great All has like an arm that extends with a swivel cup at the end, which is very nice to have.
Yeah, they're very unique.
Good specialty arm on it.
Yes. Yes, they're not like a regular excavator. It's got the articulating arm. They're up and down, in and out, and the bucket swivels.
Telescoping arm.
Yes.
Yes, yeah. Yeah.
And it is on a chassis, so it will run road speeds. It's mounted on there permanently.
Can't drag race with it, though.
Oh, yeah, probably not.
Well, you can, you just.
Probably more on,
Racing out of Great All, maybe.
Right.
more on power than speed, I guess.
Take it out on a new racetrack.
And how many months did you say if we order?
He's saying 3 to 5 right now.
That's right.
That Great All price is $566, $949.47. And if we added I think we should add the brush guard to that.
What was 566 what?
$949.47. Our current Great All is a 2020, so it is 26 years old.
20, you mean,
2020, so it's 26 years old right now, our current one.
you mean 2000?
I'm sorry. 2000,
I was
yes.
missing the math on that one, Ben.
Nope, you're right. My bad. A 2000 model, yes. So it's 26 years old. It's done us a good job, but it's in the shop again now. You know, we've been getting a lot of repairs with it the last 2 years. That's why we wanted to move it up, get it replaced. My recommendation would be with that, we would put it on the Gov Deals site. That's why I didn't even put it in for trade-in. I just don't think they would give us enough for it. I didn't even ask. Historically, we've made out really well on the Gov Deals website compared to the trade-in offers that we've received.
Found that out with dump trucks. Considerable advantage.
I also did reach out to a gentleman on a potential used unit just to see for ballpark numbers. He has a 2024 unit, Great All, 9 hours.
Just 9 hours? Okay.
Selling price is $535,000. There's a 5% chargeback, $26,750. That because he is selling it, the warranty, they were going to charge him the 5% for the warranty. Freight from New York is $5,000. Total price $566,750. And that's a year older. So we're at $566,945 versus $566,750. And plus the warranty's longer on this one. The other one we don't have, I think, a year left. So that's why I didn't pursue those anymore. To find anything else was gonna be substantial more hours and older. I just don't think the money savings and not having the warranty and
Like the old saying, you can pay now or pay later. Some of the stuff is junk. You know,
most generally, these units are only owned and ran by municipalities. And they run them until they're no good, kinda like where we're at. So, I mean, some farmer, somebody might buy, they're just so unique because, yes, they are an excavator, but they're not made to go off-road. You're not gonna run them out across fields and everything because they're on tires. I mean, they're just not gonna track unless it's just really dry. And that's not really where that stuff goes. So that's what we have on the grade all. So if you guys, the monies we have appropriated it, budgeted, is in our account. So if you guys are okay with it, my recommendation would be the 2025 unit from Southeastern Equipment that's in stock. And I'd like to do the brush guard as well. And I did run this through Andrew. We did check the bid bond, and everything's there, so.
I was comfortable with it, yeah.
So, we're good.
So we've got the 2025 grade all for $566,949.47,
Yes.
plus the brush guard for $6,556.23. Okay, so that total is $573,505.70.
Thank you.
And then do you also want them to include you listing?
Yeah, they could if they want to give me approval to sell the old one, once we receive this one on Gov Deals.
No, we'll do those as separate motions.
That's fine.
I believe that'd be better.
Okay.
So you've heard the recommendation, gentlemen. What is your pleasure?
I'll make the motion to purchase I'll make the motion to purchase the 2025 grade all that is on hand, plus include the brush guard in that motion.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second to accept the bid of $573,505.70 for the 2025 grade all. Is there any other discussion or questions? Anyone from the audience? Hearing no one. Commissioner Dooley?
Yes.
Commissioner Hartman?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller? Yes. Passes 3-0. So we'll make a separate motion to allow Ben to put the existing grade all on the, was it government.com?
Gov Deals.
Gov Deals.
Govdeal.com.
Make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to allow Ben to put the existing grade all on the auction site. Is there any other questions or comments? Hearing none. Commissioner Dooley?
Yes.
Commissioner Hartman?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller? Yes. Passes 3-0.
There's only one spot to sign on here, Jim, so I'm going to have you sign one sales orders for the brush guard, and one's for the grade all.
Okay.
I put the date on the side where you need to sign, so just print name and sign on bottom on both.
Thank you. Just go back to Ben.
Yeah, he'll scan them too.
That way. Do them both. Anything else?
Oh, yeah. I'm not done yet. Next thing I have is the signature sheet for Bridge 75. That is getting ready to go out for bid. I sent the bid docs to Andrew. He reviewed them. I reviewed them, and they will go out. I am not organized this morning. They're going out in March. The bids will be due the end of March. For, I think, March 30th, they'll be due for Bridge 75. That's the one on County Road 16. So the signature page will be what goes on the plans. So I'd like to have the three commissioners sign this, and Susan attest, and this goes on the plans of the bridge. I did send the bid docs to Andrew Cruz. He reviewed it. There's only 270 pages.
And they're mostly like, it's all like in detailed engineering stuff that a non-engineer like myself doesn't have any opinion on that part necessarily. And it's standard, right?
That's our NJDC forms. Yes, that's all standard, so. But that's ready
looks good to me.
So if you guys are okay with signing this, I will send this back. I got a Sharpie to sign it. Susan attest. Make it all look nice and professional for you.
Here, use this.
Yes, right here.
Huh?
He wants it with a Sharpie.
Oh, okay.
I did write it in here. Bids will be due on March 30th.
Probably don't need a motion on this, do we?
Yes.
It's already been approved. I don't know if you,
I thought, yeah, we've already,
Sign.
I mean, I don't know if we need to. It's all been approved to go out to bid before, so I mean,
Well, why don't we do an official motion to
that's fine.
have
You're
them?
not gonna hurt it.
Yes. Especially if they're signing something officially, let's have them approve it.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
we have a motion and a second to accept to send the bid out for Bridge
To sign the
75
plans, yep.
for the specs. Is there any other discussion or question? Hearing none. Commissioner Dooley?
Yes.
Commissioner Hartman?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller? Yes. 3-0. Thank you.
And while you're doing that one, I've got another one for you to do.
Goes right on through.
This one's the official one here. What's this one? This one will be for Bridge 503. This one's on Auburn Drive over Cedar Creek. This one's a rehab. And Bridge 75 is a replacement. Can you put the date at the top of that too, Susan, please? I didn't.
Get it on your sleeve.
You want a copy of that too? Yeah, Bill can have it again.
Whatever. However you get me.
I don't know how I'll get you this one. You can take a picture of it with your phone. I can't scan that one. I can get you a digital copy once it's scanned in at United, if you'd like. So the next one I have is for the bridge rehabilitation project on Auburn Drive, Bridge 503. That one's getting a new deck on it, and it's getting some encasement underneath for the pilings, and it's getting the slurry on the banks removed and riprap put back. This one's scheduled to go this summer. We have not got the bid ready for this quite yet, but we will have soon. So this is have the commissioner's signatures on the plans as well. So all I have on this one so far.
So I believe we would entertain a motion to accept the rehab of, is there a bridge number?
503.
Bridge number 503. Is there a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the rehab of Bridge 503 as presented. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none. Commissioner Dooley?
Yes.
Commissioner Hartman?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller? Yes. Motion passes 3-0.
I'm laughing at Susan's year, it looks like 2210. Yeah. Oh, it don't matter. I'm just laughing because here I was 2020 earlier, now you're 2210, so.
I don't sign in marker very often.
It's kind of different.
It's hard.
Yeah, the second one was a lot better.
It's different. I've signed quite a few of them and them's about the finest
Yeah.
point you can get one that, but they want the bolder mark on it, so I can't.
Yeah, there's a finer one, almost pencil.
Yeah, but they like that bold on their plans.
Well,
Pilot has a good sign pen.
Do they? Is it marker?
It's in between a marker and not, but it's thicker than those fine point ones.
Gotcha.
Trump signs with a marker. I guess we can too.
I was thinking about that. That's how he signs all his bills.
Yes.
Anyway, I appreciate it. And then I got one quote for you guys to approve. Paper's mixed up here. Okay, so I've got 3 quotes here for a pipe that we need to replace. This is on County Road 21, just south of 60. The ditch, it goes underneath 69 and goes over through 60 to where we are looking to do the culvert replacement. We're getting engineered now. So that is structure 253. That is on County Road 21. I have a quote here from St. Joe Manufacturing. They are the lowest one of $24,830.23. I got a quote from St. Regis of $28,432.50. And one from Metal Culverts, $34,168. So.
What was the first one again, please?
St. Joe Manufacturing of 24,830.23. The third one was 34,168.00. Metal culverts. Metal culverts.
Good.
Recommendation?
St. Joe Manufacturing. We've got several other pipes coming from them. They've been doing good and they're here local.
Yeah.
And so if you guys are okay, I'd like approval to proceed with the quote from St. Joe Manufacturing for 24,830.23 for structure 253.
I would make that motion.
We have a motion and a second to accept the bid of $24,830.22 as presented. Is there any questions or discussion? Hearing none. Senator Dooley. Commissioner Dooley.
Wow.
Wow.
Commissioner Hartman.
Yes.
Commissioner Miller, yes. Passes 3-0. If you have, do you have something else?
Not anything pressing, no. We can go to.
Well, we can come back after the 10 o'clock break.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Right now.
We're at break till 10.
Uh-huh.
We're back in session.
Okay,
Mr. Parker?
I just had one other thing, well, actually two, but, I thought was kind of interesting. You guys know that we're working on engineering for County Road 60 between I-69 and 427, where we have that small structure that we need to address because we got the flooding down there and high-rise structure. They did soil borings down there 2 weeks ago. A lot of that area, the peat was observed as shallow as 7 feet and as deep as 55 feet in that area, depending on the areas. There's several areas that they bored. And as we got up to close by the structure, they've also found 6 to 8 feet of asphalt near the structure in depth. So that tells you how long that's been paved over and how much it sank. So
6 to 8 feet of asphalt.
6 to 8 feet of asphalt. Yep. Said the county has been adding asphalt to those approaches for a long time, it says.
That's why the road's here and the bridge is up here.
But you know, we just did, I'm gonna say we raised it a foot
Yeah.
when we did that project there last year.
Was this piling under that small structure?
Yes.
Have to be, wouldn't it?
There is, you can see it underneath there.
Can you see it?
So just, I mean, I'm not the engineer, but I'm guessing if that peat is 55 foot deep, there's gonna be a bridge there. Because you won't be able to stabilize that, to do anything to build that up. Depending on how far it goes out. I mean, there's some more investigations in it, but
Where did you say this was?
County Road 60. You know what I'm talking about now, don't you?
Yeah.
69. So engineering's moving forward with that. So we'll see what we come up with and solutions, and I just thought that'd be interesting for you guys to hear. So I would have never guessed there's that much asphalt there, but I said 3 to 4 feet.
Wouldn't have guessed it was 55 feet deep either. I mean, that just, around here, that's really deep.
Yep. So there's a big variation, 7 feet to 55 feet.
The bridge on pilings.
Would have to.
Yep. So, the only other thing I had, just briefly, I didn't know if you guys, I seen on the agenda about the Frontier claim. If you guys wanted to discuss that while I was here, or if there was any discussion on it.
Yeah, please.
Haven't discussed it yet.
Not.
There's been a lawsuit filed, and
If we,
The thing that's surprising to me is that the demand for jury trial is what they filed for. But their claim for $11,827.54. Right.
so most people looking at this,
then they're not out much if they don't lose, because he's probably on a retainer.
So I have a couple, well, go ahead. You gentlemen have questions?
I'm still thinking.
The only thing I was gonna ask,
Okay.
I was gonna ask Andrew real quick. This was around April 25th of 2024. So when, on their filings, did you look back and see if they met the criteria on the deadlines to file?
My recollection is yes, but let me pull that up.
And how about all the? That's what I thought, but I didn't. The one that they attached here as an example was, it's got a date of 5/8 of 2024. But I don't remember what I had as far as what we replied. 306 East Lindsley, and we was there until September of 24. Claims Management Resources, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
What was the deadline? Well, if I look up on what they filed earlier, they show a notice of claim dated 5/8 of 24 to, so that was,
But since it was to him and
Oh,
not
I
to
see.
me, and I think they have to do it to the county commissioners, and they have to me and to the risk management.
got it.
So they
Now I'm with you.
substantially complied, probably substantially complied with the information needed in it, but they sent it to the wrong people because I don't think they followed the statute.
Got it.
Frontier
Now I'm
does
with
that repetitively. Sends tort claims out without, I don't know if I want to say their due diligence or accurately. I get tort claims for contractors in the county that they automatically send to us. We reply, we wasn't there, we didn't even have locate for that. Same way on Frontier sends us tort claims for their phone boxes along the road. Farmers and other people mow those off. They'll send them to us, think just because it's in the right way, we mowed it off. We'll respond, we wasn't in that area, we did not mow that.
This is a situation. Fire was corrupted, and prior to those days, they were
So the date we was there, it was 12 days later, the damage was reported. That they went out there for the damages from their paperwork they filed with us. We notified the locator, he was back out there several times that day. There were several wires found that was not marked in that area. The wire that we found that was damaged, severely severed, there's pictures of it. It was in a conduit, if I remember correctly. It all broke. I'm speculating that that was damaged after it was covered up, which is out of our control. I'm guessing it might have settled and broke, if that's what happened. But the locator was out there several times that day and verified what was there. And I do not believe that any cables was cut by us at all that day. I've sent Andrew written statements from the employees that was out there. Yep. And we've got pictures from that out there.
Oh, you do have pictures? That would be a,
Frontier had no representatives out there the day we dug. The only representative was out there was from USIC, which is a subcontractor for Frontier to do their utility locates. Was the only other person that was out there. We had 4 or 5 people out there that day. But it's up to you guys. I think personally is what they're trying to do is just recoup their money, just for us to say cheaper to pay it than
Just fold.
And I understand that, and I understand why people do, and that's what I think we got to weigh out is the cost.
And there will be a cost even for me doing the but
But I do trust my crew and the ones that was out there. If there was any chance that they thought they had done it, they would tell me. And they'll affirm that they did not do this, so.
Would it be tried in DeKalb County? Would it be tried in DeKalb County?
It's
Would the trial take place?
filed here, yes.
so if we go with the insurance company, I take it would have the deductible?
that's what would happen. Attorney fees that we pay to the
Okay. And would that be the 25,000?
that'd be the 25,000. We shouldn't have. Or we might.
Spec- and you, correct me if I'm wrong, you said you have pictures. No, that's fine.
I don't know what I'm looking at other than there's a separate line.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell that that's when we exposed it, what it looked like.
Yeah.
And it was not hit by us.
So if we won the case, do we get to charge them for attorney?
It's the American system, English system. I pay their own fees unless they're the only ones that have the fight under us. Law.
Is that a federal law?
I
Or,
believe so.
yeah.
It's not right.
I didn't,
Yeah. So
I'm in total agreement with that,
you know,
but,
in England, the losing side pays the winner's attorney fees, which, you know, changes the dynamics of whether you're gonna sue or not a little bit.
right.
Settlement dynamic. American, each side pays their own fees unless there's a statute. They have the statute.
Well, when I was on the school board, we had the same exact issue. I was hoping that your answer was going to be different than it was back then, but apparently not. Well, gentlemen, what would you like to do?
I'd like to just deny it.
That's what?
Deny it.
Is that a motion?
I make a motion.
And do what? Hire the outside for you, but are you turning it into
Or
No. Just deny it and hire somebody to fight it. I'd rather hire somebody to fight it than pay it.
turn it into insurance? They'll hire somebody.
Would they hire somebody to fight it, or would they just pay it?
that They might.
They might just pay it, so we could hire somebody else just to fight it, like,
Mhm.
yeah. Yeah, you could have me look and.
If we turn it, if we turn it into insurance and they decide they're gonna pay it, can we opt
No,
out of
they
that?
would get to be able to choose to pay it,
They would
because if you turn it into insurance, you have the ability to control that.
control that.
Yeah, so if you, yeah, okay, so okay.
So-
Your motion is to hire a separate
Yeah,
jury trial attorney.
yeah, yeah, there's enough of this blackmail crap.
That's a reasonable decision.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second it for conversation.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? Comments?
No, Andrew, we could have you do it up until, to see if it gets thrown out by the judge.
Correct, yes, yes, I would be able to handle the case up to a jury trial, closer to that. Do a motion.
Okay, are you okay with that, Bill?
Yes,
Okay, so I'll get an answer to, so the motion would be for me to, then maybe you're amending your motion to have me answer forward until we get closer to a jury trial situation.
yes, I would make that amended motion.
Okay, we have an okay, we have amended motion, and with a second, is there any other questions or discussion? Anyone from the public? Okay. Commissioner Dooley?
Yes.
Commissioner Hartman?
Yes,
Commissioner Miller? Yes. Motion passes 3-0. Oh, thank you, Ben. You have better things to do.
Well, this is unfortunate, but it's not surprising coming from where it's coming from. Okay, well, Andrew, if you need anything else from me on that, let me know.
I actually like this idea.
You know, it's nice.
Take one case and fight it out.
I think, like Bill said, it's blackmail, because you guys worked with us enough to know if we damage something, we're gonna own up to it. And we'll tell you that up front. If we didn't, and, so I agree. I mean, we didn't do it, and I don't also like paying just to get out of stuff either, but sometimes I know you have to.
I,
In this case, the amount is just low enough that
when I agree with Bill that it just feels like blackmail, that, you know, easy money.
easy money,
Right.
And,
easy targets.
yep.
I don't have anything else for you guys, unless you guys have anything else for me today.
Nope. Good. Ellen, you good? He's good.
He's good. Got the thumbs up. Okay, well, thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate everything today.
All right, Ben,
And if you need anything, you know how to get a hold of me.
we do. Have a
Okay?
good day.
All right, you guys too. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Move on with discussion miscellaneous, I believe. Contracts, we have 3 separate contracts that you all have gotten copies of them. I would request that we do them separately because they are not the same. There are different items such as well, K-9 will handle dogs only. Animal care and control does take dogs and cats. But at least we have 3 contracts with people that are willing to work with that, taking care of the indigent animals in this county. Finally, so I would ask for a motion to accept the Sheriff Roba contract as presented.
So moved.
Second,
We have a motion and a second to accept the Sheriff Roba contract as presented. Are there any questions or comments? Anyone from the audience? Hearing none. Commissioner Dooley?
Yes.
Commissioner Hartman?
yes.
Commissioner Miller? Yes. Passes 3-0. Second one is Fort Wayne Animal Care and Control. Entertain a motion for that contract.
I make that motion.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to accept the contract with Fort Wayne Animal Care and Control as presented. Any other questions or discussion? Anyone from the audience? Hearing no one. Commissioner Dooley?
Yes.
Commissioner Hartman?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller? Yes. Contract passes 3-0. And the third one is Loyal Canine Rescue. Would ask for approval of that contract as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to accept the Loyal Canine Rescue contract as presented. Is there any other questions or discussion? Anyone in the audience? Hearing none. Commissioner Dooley?
Yes.
Commissioner Hartman?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller? Yes. Contract passes 3-0. My only comment is that, number one, I'm very happy we finally have 3 contracts that are people that are willing to work with us. These people have all been just great to work with, and they wanted different items changed or deleted, and we got through it. So it's finally, we have some help for our animal control officer. We do have some help. Thank you, gentlemen. Next is the Plan Commission Ordinance Review Committee appointment.
I gotcha.
Oh,
I'm here all day today. So the Plan Commission needs to review and look at various ordinance revisions throughout this year. We're looking at specifically in the coming months data centers and their accessory facilities, carbon capture and storage facilities, and small modular reactors with low carbon nuclear energy. And then also something that has been put on the back burner just because of the comprehensive plan, and Jim's probably going to give me the evil eye on this because he's brought it to my attention. The animal feeding operations that we've been dealing with over the last couple years, those facilities that are under the item threshold for regulations. So looking at those 4 specific items, but having a commissioner on this ordinance review committee with the Plan Commission would help in creating these ordinances, as well as having an idea of what the commissioners would like to see, so these can get approved and enacted. So those 4 things are something that we'd like to have done and reviewed probably in the next, I would say, 6 to 8 months. Again, this is something that we'd like to be reactive with. We've heard that today before. Then, sorry, did I say reactive?
Yeah.
I meant, yes, we want to be reactive. No, be proactive and not reactive with this, so we can come up with an ordinance that is what the county wants. We're looking at this being probably a 6 to 8 month process for at least a couple of these, to be able to get public input, to gather at Plan Commission public meetings and probably even at a couple commissioner public meetings, information so we know what the community wants, so that, I hate to say this out loud, but we don't have another solar issue where we have something that does get approved and then the reactionary issues that come along with the public outcry. So anyway, I'd like to have a commissioner on this committee. We do have four members from the Plan Commission, as well as county attorney and also Plan Commission attorney, Andrew. So we would be hopefully meeting in the next, I have it coming up, I have the email brought up, that's why I brought my laptop. If we could have meetings, the first meeting at least by the end of the month, and then try to set up subsequent either monthly or bi-weekly meetings to get things moving. But with the comprehensive plan rewrite, there were things within that we'd also like to bring up, and granted, we're going to have to look at these in a priority basis, but the Plan Commission the comprehensive plan will give us ideas on how to move forward with zoning changes and other issues that need to get addressed. And I'll stop talking.
I have a statement I wanted to read. I asked the Plan Commission to think about new technology. This would include things like nuclear data centers for carbon capture. I've watched the county struggle with solar. I want that to happen every time something new comes knocking at the door. I'd like to take a citizens first approach, proactive approach to create rules and regulations. This would involve the creation of common sense zoning restrictions that citizens in our county to have something in place before we're approached. This positions us to avoid any rush decision or creation of ordinances that are not thought out or do not properly protect our citizens. This Plan Commission committee that is being formed will lead the charge and ultimately set restrictions for each topic to the Commission's approval. I encourage citizens to be a part of the process and attend the meetings as we work together to ensure that we are all open to opportunities, that the opportunities align with our values, and that our citizens are covered. Like Chris said, solar was a big thing, and I want to get ahead of these. It's not a question of if a data center is going to come. It was going to be a question of when a data center comes knocking on our door. The governor has been very adamant about pushing data centers in the state of Indiana, and we need to get ahead of the data centers, the small nuclear and carbon capture. Those are technologies that are coming into the future here, and if we want them, then we need to have restrictions. If we don't want them, then we need to let the companies, the people that are talking about it, to know that we're not welcome in this county. That being said, I have a feeling, I know Chris's timeline is 6 months, I feel like it's going to be longer than that. I feel like this is going to go probably until next year, just because of the emotion around data centers that I see throughout the rest of the state. Small nuclear doesn't really have too much of following yet because there's not really pushing that so much. But the data centers very much have, it's very polarized with the data centers. And I want to make sure that we get plenty of town meetings, plenty of public input, have a lot of conversations with the community. If we do want one, where do they go? If we don't want one, if we do want one, what's some of the health risks? How can we migrate that? I want to make sure we have plenty of time to thoroughly vet all options and all technologies going forward. Go ahead, Chris.
And you're probably right, to take longer than 6 to 8 months. I'm always a little ahead of the curve, but we probably need to think about proposing some sort of moratorium from the commissioners then on at least probably the first 3 issues, the data center moratorium. What are the other 2, Kellen? I can't carbon capture and small nuclear reactors. I'm not probably looking at those two things coming to DeKalb in the next year, but I'm probably looking at more the data centers looking at DeKalb. So we may want to have Andrew draft from the commissioners to the Plan Commission a moratorium that can come before them, probably at their April meeting. That way, because we currently don't have anything.
Remember, moratoriums are
Correct.
a zoning ordinance, so it has to be, it can be proposed by the commissioners, but you guys can't do the moratorium by yourselves. It has to go through the Plan Commission.
Right.
Plan Commission then gives a recommendation, which could be for or against, and then you as commissioners could still decide for it, even if the Plan.
Which I think the Plan Commission at the last discussion was they would like to see standards put in place. I don't think they have an idea whether they want or don't want or what have you, but at least getting standards in place. I think they understand the need to again, I hate to use the word, be proactive in this endeavor, but I think probably proposing a moratorium to the Plan Commission would be a good idea. And at least if we can get this ball rolling, again, we don't have anything in our ordinance to prohibit anybody from coming forward. So.
It's not be approved before they could put one in, correct? No, there is no standards ordinance.
What's that? I'm sorry?
Wouldn't they say there's a came in? And I don't think
I haven't either.
that we still have to be approved.
No, so the moratorium, even having the proposal of a moratorium, I think could be enough to stall anyone coming forward. The moratorium would help pause any of those developments coming until we would get an ordinance in place. And then once the ordinance would be passed by the commissioners, basically the next step would be removing the moratorium, where the moratorium would be worded that once language is enacted by the commissioners, the moratorium is released or whatever.
Right. The goal, so I think, Kellen, you might have also, or you might be asking, if someone requested a data center now, would the county commissioners have a say in that? And I don't know that they would, because it'll just be developed, if they're planned for a business, it'd just be developed like a regular factory building.
Right.
And you don't approve all the factory buildings that are being built in the county. So
There probably would be a rezone needed, which would come ultimately before you, but
a rezone would have to come before you, but.
the development plan itself would not.
Right.
So the development standards of
a say theoretically on it, right now.
Sorry, Kellen, I didn't catch that.
You could always propose it in a couple of weeks too, do a motion for a moratorium.
Yeah, that's fine, that's fine.
And then have me communicate that to the Plan Commission, if you want to.
But I think today all I want to focus on is my recommendation for it to be on that. I'm already on the Plan Commission. And I believe this is going to go into next year. To be him on that.
Yeah, and I might term out before it's completed. I do think it's probably a good idea, especially with the water and the energy consumption, that we need to protect our aquifer and our water source because it could draw it down significantly. So,
Is that a motion, Kellen?
Yeah, I made a motion.
I'll second.
Plan Commission Committee.
Have a motion, pardon me?
I'll second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to put Jim Miller on as the Plan Commission representative from the commissioners. Is there any other discussion? Anyone from the audience? Hearing no one. Commissioner Dooley?
Yes.
Commissioner Hartman?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller? Abstain. Motion passes 2-0, 1.
Yeah, or something like that, yeah.
Could we also, could add that to old business? business, so we can gets progressed through.
You mean for the next
Like,
meeting?
we've kind of, over the next year, just kind of add into old business, kind of we did with Sunny Meadows. Just kind of keeps an update on it, so Bill and I know what's kind of going on with it.
Yeah.
With that now, Sunny Meadows Committee, we did meet, what, a week ago, Monday, a week ago today, and got some positive input, some ideas, some suggestion on how to keep the facility and keep it maintained without taxpayer money, but not sell it. There was no desire to sell it and no desire, actually not much desire to tear it down within the committee. There's another option and maybe a lease agreement. And trying to round up some potential leasees and another individual that could give some guidance on how that might look and go forth. So I got to call him today and see if I can get another meeting set up. But it went well and good discussion.
Thank you very much. Address change, County Road 2 discussion.
I was hoping that gentleman could make it in. It's Ken Hartman, no relation, but anyway, County Road 2 residents, DeKalb County, have a Wolcottville, Steuben County address. And it just causes chaos in not only the GPS coordinates if somebody tries to find them, but I guess jury duty is a problem. I don't know about election. They would like to have their address changed to Corona Route, because Corona Route goes up that way anyway. But Wolcottville has put a big roadblock in the way because they don't want to lose those customers. They're afraid of, I think, potentially of losing their post office, or at least their post office postmaster. And they have been actually belligerent towards this individual. And anybody wants to try to submit any change. Anyway, they said, well, you got to go to your state rep. State rep guided us to basically Jim Banks. They told us it had to start with the commissioners. So I don't know, though, exactly what that process is. And then they throw it back. I think it was thrown back, well, it's got to go back to the postmaster or the post office. I'm not sure. This thing is like a dog chasing its tail. Nobody can figure out what's what and where to go with it. But anyway, yeah.
Sorry for the heavy breathing. So I've been contacted by Ken as well. How long ago has this been, Bill? Probably 2 or 3, 4, maybe 4 years ago. I mean, it's been a while.
At least.
About us trying to get his address changed. Obviously, the Plan Commission, Indiana Code gives authority to the Plan Commission to issue and change addresses, but all that gives it is the authority to change the street, or sorry, the house number and the street, right? So we can't change city, state, and zip. He's tried dealing, and Bill gave a good history of it, has tried dealing with the Wolcottville post office. Wolcottville, at the start, sent him to the Auburn post office because they're kind of the hub for this area. Auburn postmaster was kind of not wanting to get him help either. The quick Google searches that I have found gives, and I read something too, I thought, but in the 20 minutes I've been Googling, I can't find it. There is a review process. I can't find what that review process is, but it can be initiated by the municipality or a community group seeking to change the zip code. I'm reading from page 2 of the congress.gov packet, and it's highlighted there. Second paragraph, the local postmaster is not the decision maker in the process. Instead, the district manager is to identify all relevant issues and potential solutions. So the municipality or the community group can submit
Chris, just a second.
It's actually their third page.
What'd I say, second?
Second.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh.
My apologies. The municipality or the community group seeking to change can submit their request in writing to the USPS district manager, which I Googled that, and it appears that it's somebody in Baltimore, which seems weird to me, but I guess they could be the regional manager, I don't know.
Yeah, I
But I'm
think some
assuming that-
government stuff is in Baltimore. I think like Social Security has their Bureau of, well, I don't know. There's different things in
Yeah,
Baltimore too. It's
yeah.
close to Washington.
It might be something that, if you decide to move forward with this, we can figure out, but anyway, they do have to make that request to the local postmaster before the request and accompanying documentation to the district manager. I don't know if he's done that. I don't know if you would consider him and his neighbors a community group.
I believe they would.
I'm sorry?
I believe they would.
I think they probably would too. There's only.
You don't think that has to be like, and I didn't know this either, community group, does that mean it has to be like I can't imagine they'd want them to have to be like an incorporated association or something. That'd be ridiculous.
I wouldn't think
Maybe it's a
so.
community, like
Yeah.
all the people on that strip of road or all the people in a subdivision, a
And there's-
community group wanting it.
And
not
they've
just
already
one
signed a
person.
petition.
There's
Sign that
7
petition.
houses that are on that have addresses, that have that Wolcottville, sorry, I'm trying to see. That Wolcottville, zip code, city and zip code. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I think they could probably come together and do that. I just don't know if they want to. And I don't know if the denial from the Wolcottville and the Auburn post offices ultimately, they're just not going to forward anything on anyway. I've tried to have conversations with the Auburn postmaster about it, and it gets into a whole diatribe of, actually, I think he's the one that may have told me about the congressional district
Oh,
changes that it
that was a good
might
point you
happen.
brought up.
Yeah.
It could affect voting districts for Congress potentially, but I feel like it's in the middle of the voting district, so I don't think it's a
I don't know
problem.
what our voting districts are, but
If it
yeah.
was on the edge, you know, closer to South Bend or south of Fort Wayne or something, maybe it
Yeah.
would affect it.
Which, yeah, if it's
Yeah.
on the
But
border.
in the middle, I don't think it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, big of an issue. So he was kind of giving me the runaround there, just was trying to get information for Ken, but, yeah, I just saw that on the agenda and wanted to get this information to you, that I think the commissioners could, you would be the community group to do this, but,
The commissioners
sorry,
would be the
the municipality. Yeah.
It's up to you whether you wanna do this or not.
Yeah, but I think in this packet, and Andrew can read it, obviously, it gives kind of some information as to what they review when they make their decision. That's on that bottom page of the factors considered in there.
And since it's only 7 residences right next to where Corona already delivers, it seems like these would fall in their favor, I would think.
Yeah, and the weird thing is, like, and I'm not sure where we exactly got this layer from, but our GIS layer that we have for zip codes is a Corona zip code for this
Yeah,
area.
yeah.
So if we were going to, if someone's going to build a new house,
It would
we
look
would-
like it was a Corona zip code on that road.
right?
Oh, really? I didn't realize that. Okay.
So that could be potentially if you decide to do it, something we could add to the letter that says our GIS layers even show that this is incorrect.
So just so I understand, if we're in favor of this, what we're doing is sending a letter to Baltimore?
No,
The
letter to
regional
probably-
postmaster.
Right.
Actually, might be the
Maybe
post.
Auburn?
Yeah, I think so. I would probably
Auburn.
send it to Auburn and then copy all of our US representatives.
Yeah, copy Jim Banks on that for sure.
Sure.
Yes, and it
That
would
way if you
be,
don't get an
you
answer.
guys cannot control the decision, but they will actually appeal it to a higher level than your local postmasters.
Right.
If you as a municipality vote on it and do the letter.
And then they would either approve or deny that. And if they deny it, there's an appeal process as well that has to go to, I believe, Congress. That would be fun. We can take a trip to DC for that hearing. But yeah, I think you actually have to go to Congress to appeal that decision.
You could,
Trip with Chris. That would be a trip all alone.
Don't you love the post office?
we could visit Congress in the White House and.
Yeah,
Hey, we might get a free trip to Washington DC.
maybe.
Maybe we even have a county vehicle to send it.
Yeah.
Chris and I were talking about it, and we think maybe, I mean, we don't know for sure, but maybe just a letter from the county attorney saying the commissioners have voted and approved this. I mean, that's something that I could draft up and send. And
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be in favor of that.
yeah,
I
okay.
think Ken would be too, or the other residents.
And that way, I think it shows that we've exhausted all of our options in helping him. The other option is if he wants, I mean, he as the community group, I think, could still do it.
Yeah.
But then if they do deny
I think it'd be
you-
helpful if the commissioners.
Yeah.
If you want to do this and want to be in support of it, it'd be helpful, and I'm willing to do the letter if you want.
I think our residents need to have a DeKalb zip code.
I agree.
Yeah, the acting
Probably to the local
Indiana
postmaster
district
in
manager is
Auburn, I think.
LaGreta Goodwin in Baltimore, Maryland.
Oh, or to, yeah, we can,
LaGreta Goodwin.
Definitely.
And I Googled who's
to the
LaGreta
appropriate address.
Goodwin. Yeah, I'll get you that information, Andrew, or have,
Yeah, just email it to
Yeah,
me, whatever
okay.
you got on that.
So is that
But
a motion?
I think we need a
Is
motion.
that a motion?
Yes, that is a motion.
Okay, great.
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second on the floor to write a letter of support for the citizens that wish to have their
And I will handle drafting that letter of support,
address changed.
getting it to the right addresses.
Yep.
As best I can.
Any other discussion or questions? Hearing none.
Yes, Ken has reached out to me also, reached out to me also. Other things that goes based off of counties, and sometimes that
Oh.
can mess up too with these addresses. Not just a full address, and it could be something that could have big problems when it comes to insurance.
Okay.
There was a problem with Medicaid, Medicare,
Okay.
actually. They canceled Ken's wife's Medicare.
Oh, my
She went
word.
2 months without any insurance before they found out about it.
So there's all these hidden problems
It
with
was
having this.
related to this zip code change.
I guess my suggestion would is make that part of the letter.
Oh, yes, okay. It was a Medicare, was stopped for 2 months or something like that.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's serious. Okay,
Yeah, if they'd had an issue, luckily they didn't, they would have had nothing in that 2-month period.
Any more questions or discussion? Hearing none. Commissioner Dooley?
Yes.
Commissioner Hartman?
Yes,
Commissioner Miller? Yes.
Okay.
Motion passes 3-0.
all right, thank you.
Uh-huh.
I'll get that going. The name of the town and, well, the zip codes are all connected to the name of the town, so when you change the zip code, you change the town to Corona. Yeah,
46730 if you need that zip.
yeah, thank you.
Rona.
Travel reimbursement policy. I'm skipping well discussion for a minute.
That kind of ties in with what
Yeah,
we just talked about anyway.
yeah. Well, we can go ahead and have that. DeKalb County well discussion. The,
Monitoring,
pardon?
was that to monitor the well?
Yeah, yeah. So I sent each of you the information I received about how the state was paying for a well that is in the northeast corner of DeKalb County, just south of Hamilton. It's actually owned by the town of Hamilton. The water superintendent of Hamilton is the contacted IDNR. This well has been part of the program since February of 2017. Due to financial constraints with the state of Indiana, we are looking for other partners that can take on the funding of some of the 60-plus wells included in the network statewide. IDNR has provided USGS, so Indiana Department of Natural Resources has been paying the cost of the $2,560 for the well to the United States Geological Society, USGS. And because the state has cut funds to IDNR, it's either we find somebody to pay the $2,560, we pay it as commissioners, or nobody pays it, and it's then just sits there and is not part of keeping. And the whole idea of this well is to every hour keep track of the water level, our aquifer that is in DeKalb County. Myself, I just believe this is a small expense to pay to have continued so that we can at least monitor how much water we have in aquifer, because if a data center does come, it's going to have a big impact. But that's just my thought.
Another issue in this, and I agree, Jim, another issue in this is several Ohio counties are on the same aquifer, the Machindo aquifer, and they have great concerns about I think at present, a fish farm going in to use considerable amounts, and they've been petitioning against that. And so I think it's a good idea. We keep track of these water levels because it kind of ties in with any ordinance that we might develop on down the road. We don't know where it's at. We don't know how to regulate it. So we need to have those numbers and that data to work with. So I make a motion.
Who gets the data when it's produced? Does it come to you commissioners? Does it go to our Homeland Security, or who gets that? Just out of curiosity.
Let me look that up once.
I don't think so. I don't know.
I was just curious.
Well, it's a big, long, and I'm not going to say it, but it's part of, it's the U.S. Geological Survey
Gets it? Okay.
gets that.
And then if there's a problem, they might reach out to local communities
Well,
and say.
yeah, there's actually a graph from 2017
Oh, showing that, okay.
showing our water levels on that.
Go up and down over time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What we really need, if a situation did arise that a large amount of water is pulled out of that, we need data to start with. If we don't have some data to start with, we don't know where we're at now. We won't know.
You won't know if you're on a low end or a high end when they start draining it.
And in these aquifers, the water does not move very quickly horizontally, and it don't replenish very fast. So you have to be careful. You have to know, we need to know where we're at. That's
Okay. I was curious. Thank you.
This has actually been
I agree. 100% agree. Indiana, 30 years, as these data centers, small nuclear, salmon farms, other things are just need to have historical data showing, okay, this is what we have, and if we need to use it going forward, we have it readily available.
This has been a big problem out west, Kansas, Colorado, that huge aquifer under there. And it's gotten to the point where personal wells have gone dry because irrigation has sucked it so much that now there is a moratorium on some wells out there. And from what I understand, the rest of them, they've cut back like 2/3 of what they normally would use. Have restrictions on them because they're draining that aquifer a lot faster than it's replenishing itself.
We had some comments from a gentleman in Oklahoma several years back with that aquifer debate. Said he used to, they could get water at 500 feet, now it's 5,000. And that's really deep.
That is really deep. So, I'm sorry, Bill, was that a motion to approve the funds?
Yes, I'll make that motion.
5,000, here. Sorry, 5,000. 25, right there. 20. Yep. All right. And we have a motion and a second to pay the USGS to continue monitoring the well for the amount of $2,560. Is there any other discussion?
Will we pay for that out of lighted,
Yeah.
your lighted
I would say.
funds? Okay, can I add that to the motion?
Yeah.
Can we add that to the motion?
Is that all right? Okay. Any other discussion? Hearing none. Commissioner Dooley?
Yes.
Commissioner Hartman?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller? Yes. Motion passes 3-0. Okay. Travel reimbursement policy? Sure.
Okay, so, let me think about this. Oh, this is the most up-to-date policy, and Dottie had sent it to us and added the red, crossed out what we were gonna get rid of, that her and Andrew had worked on. So she's wanting your approval that you agree with this, and then she will get the update made to the handbook and send out the signatures for the employees.
I'll make a motion to approve the travel policy as amended.
Do we have a second?
I second.
We have a motion and a second to accept the travel reimbursement policy as presented. Is there any other discussion or questions? Hearing none. Commissioner Dooley?
Yes.
Commissioner Hartman?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller? Yes. Motion passes 3-0. Vet clinic and funding. This is for the,
Okay, so, Animal Welfare Alliance, Courtney Butler, she had let us know that she won't be, being able to do the TNR program. However, she had been in contact with this public pet vet clinic to help get the first clinic started and up for this year. So it started, it is going to happen, and she also is in contact with Erica. And so anyways, long story short, since you had allocated monies for Animal Welfare Alliance, she was just suggesting that maybe you would be willing to apply $2,000 out of what you had allocated, which was $8,500. The $2,000 for the pet vet for this clinic, so that they were able to keep going and be able to fund some other PNR clinic things.
well, you've heard the recommendation or a motion.
Yes. Sorry, I hit the wrong button. Yes. I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
We have, we have a motion and a second to accept the pet vet clinic and funding as presented. Is there any other questions or discussion?
I just think we need to keep this trap, neuter, and release program going. It's the best solution to the problem of
Yes.
excess cats. So, yeah, and it's not, we're just switching the money to another organization to
Right.
complete this clinic, so.
Yep. Any other comments, questions? Hearing none. Commissioner Dooley?
Yes.
Commissioner Hartman?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller? Yes. Motion passes 3-0. Butler ETJ appointment.
Yes, so Mayor Hartman, he sent us an email and was able to find the second candidate because we needed two on the ETJ board. And so he is recommending that you appoint Jason Diltz as the second person.
You've heard the recommendation for the appointment to the EJT for the Butler City Plan Commission. Is there a motion to accept?
I'll make that motion to, oh. Second. That delay gets me every time.
Yeah, excuse me. We have a motion and a second to appoint Jason Diltz to the ETJ Butler's Plan Commission. Is there any other discussion or questions? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Oops,
Aye.
up, my fault. Commissioner Dooley?
Yes.
Commissioner Hartman?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller? Yes. Motion passes 3-0. Timekeeping policy update for handbook.
Okay, so this also was sent back and forth. Dottie had sent an update with all the red marks that the labor law, I think that's what it's called. The
Outside labor attorney.
Yeah, the outside labor attorney. And then I had read through it. I had sent a suggestion because I thought that the other one was extremely wordy and it repeated itself multiple times. So she had sent my suggestion into him, and he said that that the auditor's version largely incorporates his suggestions, just changed the organization a bit differently, and that he thinks the policy looks fine. So we just need you to determine if you're gonna go with my suggestion or if you wanna stay with the attorney's suggestion and approve one of those policies so that we can get that part updated in the handbook also.
Heard the recommendation for one or the other. What is your pleasure, gentlemen?
Sorry, I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, I looked over about that.
He was looking at it.
Oh.
What's your thoughts?
With everything that, without going into details, with everything that went on at the end of last week, I haven't looked at this recently. With the, but I would think if the outside attorney approves it and says that it substantially contains the right information. When I reviewed it initially, I think I was okay with the changes. So I wouldn't really have a problem with it.
I'm good either way. I just reorganized it and got rid of the duplicate. Each section had like multiple duplicates, and that's all I did. I don't care which version you choose, we just need to.
If the outside labor attorney or labor law attorney approved it, it should be okay.
Yeah, I would think that would be my recommendation, my motion.
A motion? And
He kind of broke up. What motion did you make?
the one that, from the attorney, outside attorney?
The original one or the one he approved of mine?
The Susan's approved one, I think, was your motion, wasn't it? The one that the labor law attorney approved after Susan took out the extra stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second to accept the timekeeping policy update for the handbook as presented. Any other discussion or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, oops, almost. Commissioner Dooley? Commissioner Hartman?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller? Yes. Motion passes 3-0. Claim, we already had the frontier discussion. Last item, claim for overpayment of taxes.
Okay. Okay, so this is kind of complicated. The city of Butler purchased some property and they paid taxes. And then they didn't think they should pay the taxes because they were government. And so I had asked DLGF, we went back and forth, and it's possible, if you guys approve it, that we can give them back their money that they paid for the taxes. However, I don't know if Attorney Stuckey had everything on here that he was requesting to go back. They weren't requesting some, they were requesting 2 of the larger amounts, but there was a 3rd large amount, but he's got all the parcels listed. I don't know if Andrew wants to weigh in.
I'm looking for my notes on it because I did look this over. Is this the Butler request for tax money back? Okay. I believe that the law allows the outstanding, so what happened is what? Butler took possession of some property, but the taxes weren't changed as of the date of their possession.
Correct, and, well, and it all goes, okay, so it goes by, we had a note.
Because it wouldn't change immediately because the assessment hasn't.
Right, it goes by the
Done yet.
assessment date.
Right.
And we had notes from the assessor saying that the exemption wouldn't be effective until pay 25. And DLGF said that, gives the IC code that eligibility for an exemption is as of assessment date. A change in ownership after the assessment date, which this is what that would have been, does not affect the eligibility or non-eligibility of the property for an exemption. Then it also says the exemption from property taxes for political subdivisions and municipal property applies only if the city owns the property. After the city obtains ownership of the parcels, it could request cancellation from the county of any outstanding taxes under IC.
But only to the date, I believe, of when they got the property.
Yes.
Obviously, they don't get any taxes canceled for prior to that.
So then, I believe we determined that this claim was Attorney Stuckey's petition that was
Yes, I
referenced
believe it
in
would fit.
statute?
When I looked at it, I believed it would fit the definition of a petition. Because they're requesting it, and it's a, yeah. There's no other form for it that I'm aware of. Correct.
So I guess the determination is, do you want us to refund the taxes?
I guess
That-
prorated for the portion of the year that they owned it. Is what
Yeah.
you're asking it.
And then it also included the emails where Stuckey told the city to pay it, so they paid it, and
It's the part that their council told the city to pay it, then why does it come back on us?
Well, maybe they were probably required to pay it until the next assessment period. So he was probably correct saying, yes, you should pay it, but then you gotta ask for the refund. I think that's the proper way to have done that. I think that's why they were in that catch-22. They owed it because it really was charged, and there was no process to not have it be charged in between assessments unless you petitioned to get it refunded. So I think that's why he felt like he had to do that, would be my guess.
Gentlemen, what's your pleasure?
How much was that for?
Well, on the claim, he's asked for $3,542.55 for one of them and $584.10 for another. But there's a third that I don't think put on there.
For only two numbers.
On the page, I'm looking at the email, it says 4,890.
Oh, that was between the treasurer and the city of Auburn. That's, would have been what they had. And yeah, she was saying, this was back in December. The unpaid delinquent property taxes, if all don't get paid, these 3 parcels will be eligible to be certified for tax sale, The amounts listed on delinquent letters is the $4,899.75. That was on the delinquent letters.
As I read this statute, looking up the statute again, it does say that the county executive can cancel the property taxes, but it says if a petition requesting it is submitted by the auditor, assessor, and treasurer. So is Stuckey's petition being submitted by you're only the auditor here, I guess, so. Maybe we
All I
could-
was brought was this claim,
Okay.
no signature. I have my team file stamped it that I received it on January 13th. I don't have anything that the treasurer received it.
What if this would be tabled for a chance to get the opinion of all 3 of you, auditor, assessor, and treasurer, and if you all 3 agree, then maybe and petition it, and say you agree with it, then they would be free. I think they'd be free under the statute then to do it if they wanted to. I guess I would recommend having that next step. Table it to allow all 3 of those elected officials to see if they agree with it. I'm guessing they'll agree with it because it's a local community, but you never know. Yeah, you never know.
I'd be in favor of tabling it.
Yeah, because of the way the statute reads. Okay.
Okay, we have a consensus to table this.
Okay.
Okay. That's everything on the agenda. Commissioner Dooley, do you have anything more?
Not
What about what you sent me? Are we not talking about that?
I'm sorry.
This thing?
Oh,
Yeah, you guys, you, the drawing of the 11A and 47, that would be for the roundabout possibility. We would need to buy a little bit of the land through, which is owned by Heron Lake. Andrew, you want to kind of attest to what you've kind of done a little bit with that?
Yes, so the only thing that I did was at Commissioner Dooley's request, to just reach out and see if there was any openness to having a little slice of that land sold off to the county for the purposes of doing the roundabout there. It would be just a small sliver. It wouldn't take the entire triangle. They could still develop it commercially, which I think was part of the overall goal of the original development. And then as they're pursuing this, it's currently in bankruptcy court. So the ultimate decision would have to come from the trustee, I believe, maybe another entity of potentially the creditors, and then ultimately the judge to approve it. But I would anticipate that would be something that everybody would want because it'll increase the development of the site, I think, in the, might even increase potentially the value of the property for the bankruptcy court to look at if this was done. So from my understanding is there's an openness to this through the process. That's all that I had looked at. But so then it's up to you gentlemen to decide when and how you would want to pursue that further to get like an official proposal and then, you know, appraisals and that sort of thing.
So Bill and Jim, I kind of had Andrew do that just to get an idea.
Yeah.
I don't know if we want to do a light or a out there. Bill, did you guys ever do a traffic study in that area? I know the RDC was going to put a roundabout there. I didn't know why they did that versus a stoplight.
It was, Brown and Brown, when they had, that development, Heron Lake.
D.A. Brown, when they were working with
Brown,
Air Brown.
They were gonna do the project. I don't remember the details. I think we was gonna furnish the project maybe, and they were gonna do the actual labor and construction of the project at their expense.
Because they were developing it at that time, but
Right.
now everything is sort of up in the air with the bankruptcy court process. That puts all the original agreements, since it's federal court and bankruptcy, it overcomes contracts to some extent, overcomes state law and county law.
Bill, if you remember too, the city of Auburn, Amy Schweitzer was the planning director at that time. She had come to the commissioners requesting, I believe it was her, that roundabout, something with the county. I can reach out to Auburn about a traffic study. I don't think one was ever done because the commissioners decided to not move forward. I think that was going to be the next step, is get your ducks in a row and then work
And it
towards
could have been that they had financial problems and ended up in
Yeah,
bankruptcy and
yeah,
stopped
yeah.
all of it.
Yeah, we
So
were
I can
very
reach out to Auburn if you
skeptical.
want, but a new one would probably be needed anyway.
It's been years, I think, in the bankruptcy process currently.
Yeah, Don and Jackie were still here. My first, yeah.
So with that kind of in mind, I think maybe having with the racetrack coming in, how that's going to be roads in that area, if it'd be worth doing a roundabout or doing a stoplight.
And I think those traffic studies don't, I think the traffic studies, Kellen, don't really cost anything, is my understanding through NERC. They're there as a,
Do they expire? Do they expire? Like,
they,
Probably would.
at some point they would, yeah.
Seems like there was a study done that they actually recommended a stoplight.
Well, you could just ask them to do an updated.
Updated, yeah, I would say yes.
I think there was too.
Seems so.
Yeah,
Who's the lead person to ask them?
I think Ben.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
think
Ben
Ben.
would be a good person
I
to
think
ask.
Ben was involved the last time.
Ben can.
Yeah, that would be a
request-
Ben thing, I
yeah,
think.
Ben to request it. Basically.
I'll email him.
Yeah, because it would be an updated one and it adds a variable of the racetrack. That's going to change quite a bit down there with the traffic flows depending on the weekend.
So do we need a motion to look at?
It wouldn't hurt to have a motion on the record to have you guys requesting, to authorize Ben Parker to request a NERC study of that intersection.
I'll make that motion.
So moved. I'll second.
Motion and a second to have Ben Parker look at traffic study as presented. Is there any other discussion, comment? Hearing none. Commissioner Dooley?
Yes.
Commissioner Hartman?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller? Yes. Motion passes 3-0.
Great.
Okay. Commissioner Dooley, anything more?
That was it.
Commissioner Hartman?
Nothing.
Commissioner Miller has nothing. Is there anyone in the audience? Hearing no one. there's no objection, will I consider this meeting adjourned? Hearing no objection, we're adjourned.